steadily changing. He's making me better.
What's up, y'all? It's Khalid Monet, and I am so glad that you decided to tune in today. If you are new here, hey Queens. If you are returning, hey Queens. And if there's any guys here, hey Kings. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to push that post notification bell so you can know each and every time that I post a video. Let's just jump straight into this video. Have you been feeling like God has been tugging on you? He's been pulling you to pivot? If so, you need to pivot. I know sometimes we get so comfortable in going on the straight and narrow. We get so content where we are. We finally got to a place where we feel like, okay, this is it. We are finally okay with where we are. Things are coming together. Things are working out. We're being promoted. Accomplishments are happening. Things are just looking up and things are looking good. And guess what? That can all be true. But when God is calling you to pivot and for you to go into a new direction, he's trying to take you into something fresh. He wants to take you into something new. There's change that has to happen. And although pivoting don't feel good at times because we get used to where we are, we get comfortable where we are. We feel like, okay, this is it, God. I like it here. This is good. This feels good, right? And so when he's calling us to pivot, we don't know what to expect. We don't know what lies ahead. We don't know what's to come. We don't know. It just doesn't even make sense to us. Sometimes when we feel like we're going on the straight and narrow, he's causing us to go right. When we're on the straight and narrow, he's causing us to go left. And you're like, but God, I don't understand this. I don't understand why you need me to do this. I don't understand why you need me to go there. I don't understand where I am. I was comfortable here. I was okay here. I was willing to do the work here, but now you're pulling me to go in another direction. And he's pulling you to go there because there's something new that he wants to show you. There's more that he wants to give you. There's places that you haven't been that he wants you to go. There's things and different assignments that he's calling you to that you have to go to. You have to do, but you won't get there if you don't pivot. There's things he's going to show you when you pivot. There's things he wants to tell you when you pivot. And sometimes we get so lost into where we are that we can't even hear him. We won't even hear him. When it's time for us to pivot, some of us don't even hear him. We have to silence the noise and silence the distractions and silence everything that's going on around us so we can hear from God. Because when he tells us to move, that means we got to move. When he tells us to go, that means we have to go. When he wants us to do something different, that just means we have to do something different. And there are so many people in the Bible that I can think of that pivoted. And one person that I truly think about is Esther. Esther literally had to pivot. She was living her life one way as one thing, and instantly her life changed completely. Her life literally changed completely. Had she not walked into her new purpose, her new season, her new place, Esther would not have been queen. Esther would not have been what God needed her to be. But because she was obedient, but because she listened, but because she continued to pray and have faith, Esther was able to live out her assignment. Esther was able to become queen. Esther was able to become who God needed her to become because she was able to pivot. She was able to pivot. She was able to pivot. Some of us may say, oh, but she was okay where she was, or she may have liked where she was and she was okay. But guess what? God needed her. God was calling her to something higher. God was calling her to something greater. And although she might not have seen it like that in the beginning, although she might not have understood it in the beginning, although she may have had questions in the beginning, she moved when God told her to move. She moved when she felt like, okay, I understand why I'm here. I understand why God was calling me here. Now I understand what my purpose was. Now I understand what my assignment was. Now I understand that I'm here to save a people. Now I understand why God has called me to this place. So be okay pivoting. Be okay hearing from the voice of God. Be okay knowing that, okay, God, I don't understand everything. It seems a little strange. It seems a little bit scary, but I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. It's not my way. It's not how I thought things would play out and how things would go and how things would be. But God, I trust you. I trust that if I'm going to pivot, you got me all the way through. You're going to see me all the way through. And if I got to change some things to get there, I'll change some things. If I got to take a turn, then I'll take a turn. If I got to take a few steps back, then I'll take a few steps back. But because you're requiring me, because you need me to pivot, I am going to pivot. So if God has been tugging on you, as he's been pulling you, as he's been talking to you, as he's been talking to you and trying to get your attention, now is the time to listen to God. Now is the time to make that move. Now is the time to change direction and go in the path and the way that God is calling you to go. Do not be afraid. Pivot. Do not be afraid. Pivot. Do not be afraid. Pivot. So many good things come out of when we listen to God. So many great things happens for us when we listen to God. So many great things happens for our family and the nations behind us because we chose to be obedient and listen to God. We may not have all the answers. We may not understand everything. We may not understand everything. And yes, you got comfortable where you were. Yes, you did so much where you were. Yes, you accomplished so much where you were. And some of us don't even understand that God is preparing us. God is preparing us for the pivot. God is preparing us for the change. We could be going through and having so many different experiences and different challenges and you know, we just going throughout life and we just doing and doing and doing and doing and doing. And it's not until we pivot that we actually say, okay, God, I see why I had to go through this. God, I see why I had to go through that. God, I see why this was so challenging. God, I see the strength that I've obtained when I went through that. God, I see all the people that I helped. I see the hands and the people that I was able to feed. God, I see it. God, I see it. God, I see it. God, I see it. God, I understand now why I had to pivot. And you'll be so glad that you listened. You'll be so glad that you pivoted. So I pray that this video helps you. It blesses you. It inspires you to make that move. It inspires you to hear from God. It inspires you to pivot. Do not be afraid. God is with you always. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'll see you on the next one.
Steadily changing.